Happy New Year, Kylie. This is the first time we've chatted in 2025. I know we're in mid-February, but how are you today?
I'm so glad to be here with you, Jenny. I have had a great start to the year. It's been busy, fun, and you too. I know you're traveling in Sydney at the moment.
I am. This is the third Monday I've been in Sydney. Last we've been in two times the last couple of weeks. One, driving down the coast to Central Coast, and then last week here in Sydney for workshops. And today I got to get a 6:45 flight instead of a 5 a.m. flight. So life is good today. I'm very excited because we're talking off camera beforehand about how you're off to social media marketing world again, which I am so jealous about in San Diego. Having said that, I am in Las Vegas in 2 weeks. So I think we kind of, matching each other there.
So fun. What I love about this conference is that they do the marketing side of it so well, right? So everybody that's bought a ticket goes into a Facebook group. So we're all just going hard out, connecting already. So it's loads of fun. It's just a reminder how that personal branding piece is so important. Optimizing your personal Facebook because everyone's going there to have a look and it's just so fun. And they're already organizing meetups and just cool networking stuff. I'm so excited.
Oh, I can't wait to hear all about it when you're back in a couple of months. But today, and I think it's a really good conversation because today we're talking about what we should talk about today. We're into mid-February. People have done some planning, hopefully some goal setting. Hopefully they've got a direction for the year. But now you've got this big list of things, and now it's about priorities, right? And I always have this conversation with my clients. They say, I've got so many priorities. And I was like, how can you have more than one priority? The whole point is you start with one thing and you have a priority about very clearly focusing on something and moving down the list. You can't do all things at all the time. So I'm keen to hear your thoughts. What do you think about priority setting and priorities in business?
Yeah, such a big one. I was thinking about that as we were messaging back and forth and really thinking, you know how you've got that Facebook group, and I just from memory, it's people, profit,
Purpose.
purpose, the P's. So I was thinking about my P's when it comes to my business pillars and, how to prioritize really. And I thought, well, first of all, I've got positioning down at the bottom. So, your marketing, are you invisible? Are you nailing it? Are you getting out there? Pipeline. So clients, do you have great flow with clients? Are you keeping your clients? Someone spoke to me the other day, a friend in Melbourne, and she said, oh, I don't know why you bother with all this coaching stuff and everything. Just run masterclasses all the time and just sell to new people. And I just went, what? The magic is in the coaching. That's where you've
Yeah.
got people and you can really see results and all of that. So anyway, that was an interesting one.
But
Of
that's if
course,
you prioritize impact over financial gain. And I think that's a really good point there. That maybe it's another podcast, another episode where you're actually prioritizing the impact and the change you see in clients over the volume of clients and revenue you get. That itself is a priority in that statement.
yes. But like I said to her, if I'm always trying to sell a new thing every second week, then I'm on a hamster wheel endlessly trying to find new people
Yeah.
all the time. So that in itself is like just the expense of that, whether it's an ads or
Yeah.
whatever, like new
Yeah.
people every 2 weeks is intense.
Yeah.
Then we've got, of course, P for product. So what's your offer? Do you need to look at your pricing? Is your offering needing a bit of an overhaul? That's an important one to look at sometimes too. Then people. So in terms of your team, so you and I both have teams that are so vital to the running of our business.
Yeah.
Platform and processes. We of course love talking about the platforms you're using, limiting your growth or helping you grow. And then at the top, your favorite one is the profit. So, of course, it's what pays the bills and it's what
Yeah.
helps you to grow. So, I really got stuck into your P's, and there you go.
I love that. It's so funny. I like how you kind of drill down to all the different P's that you need to do and how you prioritize it. We have a really simple decision making matrix that allows us to set priorities, and ours is very simple as is this thing going to move us towards our goal or pull us away from it? And no matter whether it's marketing, whether it's a client, whether it's a project, whether it's a networking event, whether it's joining a program, our conversation that I have is this taking me towards my goal? When I sit down with my husband and we talk about, okay, I need to do this coaching program, or I want to go to this trip. And even this trip here to Sydney today, we've got two really great networking events with a trade delegation from overseas. There's no clients here, but it's an opportunity to brand and to position and all those things. But the question we always say is this going to help us get to our goal? And is this going to move our business forward? And so we priority set based on that really simple decision making. That's a decision tree, right? And then from there, we say, okay, well, then what's more important? What's going to move the dial the most right now? And if your marketing is, a little bit sad and a little bit kind of needs some love, then that becomes a priority because the flow on effect of that is so big to your business. In the same way, if you're prioritizing your and smaller clients that may be kind of taking a lot of your time but not giving you the greatest impact or benefit, maybe it's about prioritizing some of those more, your longer term clients and your loyal clients over some of the ones that are kind of just tire kicking. And I know we don't like to use those terms, but the reality in business, we have to look at prioritizing clients as well. And we don't like to, but time is time, right? We only have so much time. And so we want to make sure that we maximize that impact that we're having with them. So to me, priority setting is about making sure my decision making is on point so I can allocate my resources wisely, I can spend my money wisely, and I can spend my time wisely.
And the very first thing that you said when you started that was, are they in alignment with my goals? Are they
Yeah.
going to move me towards my goals or away from my goals? So that brings you back to how effective is your goal setting? Because I think so many people think, oh, it's like setting a New Year's resolution, or my goal is to, so often I hear this, Jenny, my goal is to be successful. It's like,
What does that mean?
what is successful? Or my goal is, and the reason I'm in business is financial freedom. I'm like, what does that mean? Success to you is different that success is to me, as is
Yeah.
financial freedom. So
Yeah. And I love that because when you look at studies, there's a whole range of studies, but most studies show that about 90% of people do not achieve the goals they set. So there's only, 8 to 10% of the population who set a goal that actually follow through. And the reason that is because they don't have that alignment with their purpose or their vision. They don't have a clear plan. They don't really allow for unexpected, of things popping up, and they have completely unrealistic expectations. I had that conversation with someone last week who said, I want more money. And I was like, and I saw this exercise years ago. You and I have done this before. I give you $5, you've got more money. Oh no, I want more than that. Well, tell me what more means, because more money, every time you get an extra dollar that you didn't expect, you've got more money. But what does more money mean? What does those freedom? And I think clarity, and we know my favorite statement is clarity is the answer to every problem. If we have clarity around what those words mean, more success, freedom, financial success, all those things, the clearer we are on those, the easier it is for us to visualize, to work towards them, and then actually know when we've achieved them, right?
I absolutely agree. And I think it's so important to get clarity around what it means in the short term as well as the long term. So I
Yeah.
always work with our clients at the beginning of the year on 3-month goal, 6-month goal, 1-year goal. And what I find is so often I need, for example, for the money that I want, I need to have this many people in my membership, for example. It's like,
Yep.
okay, but to get there, this is what we need to do in the first month or 3 months or whatever. So actually trying to break it down to how are we going to get there? What are we going to do? And again, is it really going to get you where you need to get? If your goal is a big glorious one in 12 months time, then you're going to have to do a whole lot of work to get there
And I
in the
think
interim.
And then it's about that prioritizing, right? So what is the first thing you need to do? So, and I see this all the time, right, where people are focusing on the shiny thing at the end of the goal. So I'm talking about what's going to happen in 11 months, but I forgot to do the first step today. So they wonder why they never get to their 11-month kind of point of their milestones, because they didn't start with the priorities. What is the first thing you need to do? What is the next thing you need to do? And I mean, you and I've been when we're doing our empire builders, and I say, how to make $1 million business is post one thing on social today. Like people go, well, how is that possible? Like, because to get $1 million business, you need to get known. And to get known, you need to have people know who you are, what you do, and how you serve them. And what's the best way to do that? post on social media, whatever your social media platform is. But if you want to get people to know you, you have to be visible. And they're your, your words that I'm saying to you now. But that's that thing, right? And if you do that, so you want $1 million business, get used to social media. And if you can't get used to social media, okay, maybe rethink what your goal might be, because it's going to be much harder for you to achieve that if you don't want to show up publicly.
100%. It really is. And I really enjoyed, would have been at least 4 years ago now, that you gave the analogy of the ladder when you're doing goal setting.
Yep.
So we look where we
Yeah.
want to go, and then we do work on the rungs going backwards and how you got there. I think that's a really, really clever one. And it really bite-sized pieces, right?
Yeah.
Bite-sized steps.
What is the next rung on the ladder? And I still use that analogy when we did our goal setting session. I think around the same time you did one this year, early the year, is we still focus on that. Write down everything that you need to do, and then each rung in itself becomes a little project, right? So one of the rungs might be, I need to show up to an event, or I need to run an event. Cool. Well, what do you need to do to run that event? There's a whole lot of little mini ladders inside that. So I love that analogy, and I still use it because visually you can feel yourself climbing the ladder, not the metaphorical kind of ladder of success or power, but just the goal ladder. And it allows you to kind of go, I'm taking a step forward, and you can cross it off. You can make great visual, imagery around that as well. And for me, being able to visualize the next step allows me to actually bring it in. And I've become, when you and I met 5 or 6 years ago, both of us hated the word manifestation. We didn't really like the whole woo woo thing. And I don't really call it manifestation as opposed to the as if. So I now live as if, and you and I have talked about this before. And I think when you're setting a priority, it allows you to live as if. If you want to be abundant, if you want financial freedom, you need to start living that way now. Both, whether it just starts in your head, start imagining yourself there, start knowing that you're at that space, and then your body and your brain will start doing the things you need to do to make that happen. And whether you call that manifestation or visualization, or just the psychological connection between the goal and reality, whatever you want to call that, it really works. And I know for our business, it's allowed us to grow in the last year exponentially, because we're now just behaving as if we want to come to Sydney for a day. I don't worry about it like, oh my God, what am I missing out on? I'm like, let's do this. This is what we would do. Jump on a plane, let's go to Sydney. Or, hey, we need to go and do this event up in wherever it is. Yep, let's jump on a plane, let's get in a car, let's go. And I think that's about priority setting. We don't do that willy-nilly. We still do our decision tree. Is this going to help us move towards our goal? Is this achieving what we want to achieve? If the answer is yes, it's a really easy decision.
Absolutely. So I think that you've raised a really good point there about set it up and make it happen. So if you don't
Yeah.
actually have those big, hairy, audacious goals of, I want to be in Las Vegas in 2 weeks' time, for example, for you, and you're like, oh, but I can't because I've already got things lined up. I've got da 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 da. Actually, everything is possible. It's just a case of what is your priority.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the key piece for me. Everything is possible. You just have to put everything in motion. I love the way you've just said that. And I think we forget that, right? Oh, I can't do that. I don't have this, or I don't have that. We can find those things. Whatever you need to achieve your goal, you can find it. And the one realization I had last year is I have a huge network. I've been very blessed with amazing clients and the network that I've done. I don't take advantage, if you like, of that network. I don't follow up people. They're just in my network. And often they'll reach out to me to say, hey, Jenni, can you connect me with other people? But I forget that sometimes I can use that same network, right? And so for us this year, our focus is how do we actually start to build really strong connections within our network? Because we have a beautiful network of people that circle around us and that we circle around. And now this year for us is around using those connections, because if you need something, you can find it within your network, or your network will find it for you. And so to me, that's about priority setting. That's about recognizing where you want to be, and then saying, okay, what are those steps that I need to do to get there?
I love that. So would you say, I was about to say to you, what would be you say that's one priority for you for this year that is different to what you do other years? Would you say that was it?
100% for us, that really focus on promoting and building our network. We're really proud this year. We've just become sponsors of the Dolphins NRL Football Club, which for us is huge. Like, it's a massive investment. It's a branding positioning. We're very proud to be part of an emerging club and be part of them as their official consulting partner. And that's around, okay, so now we need to kind of make use of that sponsorship and actually work with people and bring people into the fold and connect with them. And it's an absolute priority for us. What's the priority? It started with our marketing and our branding. And then how do you use that? Marketing and branding gives you access to people. What I've never been really great at, and I happily admit it, is using and connecting in with that network. So that's our priority 100% this year. And what about you? What's your priority for 2025, Kylie?
Actually, so I run Positive Passionate Businesswoman online meetups and business directory, etc. So
Yeah.
this year I said to myself, as a personal business priority, it's to in-person network more often. And so I haven't actually done it yet, but just as I was looking up, there's a new group being formed locally. I got an invitation to be part of something and facilitate a roundtable at the International Women's Day thing.
Oh,
Anyway, so
so
it's like,
beautiful.
that's great too. That's another live networking opportunity. And then I decided this month for our members, we're also going to be bringing in a lunch date. So it's about powerful networking. And so I've made a whole structure around that. So even though
So
my
good.
priority was to do it in person, I thought I can also level up and bring more online as well. So I'm really
Oh, so
excited that
good.
for both of us, it's along the similar lines of around networking.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we forget that we build a network, we build a community together, and that's not just about to help our clients connect in that network. It's also about us. And I know for me, as we've both started this business kind of being a little bit solopreneurs, working at, doing the hours, putting in the sweat that we need to build our business. And sometimes I do, and I say this to my clients too, that we forget to look up and say, hang on, there's actually now people around us. We're no longer doing this on our own, whether it's just our team or whether it's not just our team, whether it's our team, our clients, our family and friends, and the broader network we built. We forget to look up and see what the impact we're having in a bigger space. And I think that for me is what networking is about. It's not just about the take or the give, it's actually about the collaboration, the partnerships that we build through that, which I know you do so well through your networking groups and through the work that you do. So I think that is 100% my priority for this year.
Awesome. Let's all go forth and actually
Sounds amazing.
look at the opportunities that can come from connecting with people, collaborating, and yeah, that's exciting.
Let's make it happen. So I encourage everyone today, I think maybe this week who are listening, is to think about what are your priorities for 2025? What are you focusing your effort on? What's going to help you move the dial in your business or your life or whatever it is, so that you can actually start realizing and living that dream that you've been kind of imagining for many, many years. It's time to actually kind of do the work and actually get in and think about what's the priority. So if you're watching this online in our Facebook groups and in the chat, tell us what your priority for this year is. If you're looking at this on our, online channels, then again, tell us what your priority is. Tell us what you're focusing on. And maybe in a couple of months, you can come back and have a look and say, how did I go working in that priority?
Love it. Love it, Jenny.
Amazing.
Awesome.
So
Just to let
great to chat
everybody
to you.
know, sorry, yes,
Oh,
so good to chat with you too, but just to let everybody know that we're mixing it up slightly this year. So I'm going to be seeing you guys online once a fortnight,
yep.
but Jenny and I will be seeing you online once a month. So yeah, every second one, Jenny and I will be hanging out while she travels and does all that good stuff.
Yes, unfortunately, with the traveling and doing calls at sort of midnight was getting a little bit hectic. So we now decided that once a month means that we can commit. Again, it's prioritizing, right? So I'm prioritizing once a month, one Monday a month, so I can hang out with you guys and still connect with you. But it allows us to still travel as well.
Awesome. And so I'll be bringing in some guests. So yeah, we'll
So
just
cool.
be having some interesting topics going on, business and life. So yeah,
Love it.
looking forward to it. So
Well, you
thank
have an
you.
amazing day, Kylie. I cannot wait to hear about social media marketing world. And we'll see you in a month.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much,
See you later,
everyone.
everyone. Thanks so
Bye.
much for joining us. For those joining us, thanks so very much. To make sure that you like and click the like button so you can follow us and find out who the amazing guest that Kylie is bringing on in a fortnight, when we're coming back in our topics, and so you can connect with us on our socials. Any questions, always reach out. Kylie, hellomedia.team is the best place to find you on your website. And for us, Elephant in the Room AU on all our socials. We look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Thanks so very much.
Cool. Enjoy Sydney. Bye.
Bye.